Hello and welcome. You're watching UATV News with me, Ksenia Buhai. First, this hour, the latest developments from Ukraine. Kyiv commemorates protesters killed during clashes with the police in the center of Kyiv in February of 2014. Their relatives arrived to the center of the capital to lay flowers and keep a moment of silence. On this day, 7 years ago, the severe clashes between the protesters and the then law enforcement began on the Independence Square in Kyiv. According to various estimates, in the period of 18th to 20th of February 2014, from 78 to 83 activists were killed. Later, 20 more died of wounds in hospitals. Armed aggression of Russia in Ukrainian Donbas. On the initiative of Ukraine, on February 23rd, a meeting of the United Nations General Assembly will be held on the issue of warfare in Donbas. Serhiy Kyslytsya, Ukraine's permanent representative to the UN, said this in an interview. According to him, the agenda will include discussion of a report on the situation in separate areas of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Ukraine will also raise the issue of a forum illegally organized by Russia with the participation of Russian propagandists. The General Assembly meeting will be attended by chairs of the Ministry for Reintegration of the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine.
On February the 23rd, the Ukrainian permanent mission will organize a briefing on the situation in Donbas and Crimea for the UN member states, not only for the Security Council. The briefing will be chaired by leaders of the Ministry for the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine. Thus, we will be able to tell everything about the course of events without any time constraints.
Ukraine is on the way to adaptive quarantine. It will begin already next week and will last for over 2 months. It is the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. A number of restrictions will differ from those that were in effect last summer and autumn. Our correspondent will tell you more.
Back to adaptive quarantine, but in different lighter version compared to one that was in force last summer and autumn. Cafes and restaurants will be able to work up to midnight. The Cabinet of Ministers also allowed audience to be present at the stadiums during sport matches. This quarantine will last until April the 30th. Same way as in the summer and autumn, there will be 4 levels of epidemiological danger, with each of them having limitations, criteria and definitions. The decision will come into force next week. Therefore, all Ukrainians will be able to learn about adaptive quarantine and get ready. The green level of restrictions will be introduced if the number of cases of coronavirus is less than 5%. Yellow is the base one for the whole country. It will be allowed to hold cultural and entertainment events, but the premises should not be more than 50% full. It is also allowed to attend schools and universities, but the groups should contain no more than 20 people. And there will be no additional restrictions if the orange level is introduced. If we are talking about the orange level, then there should be an excess of one of the indicators. That is, if one of the indicators is high, the region is on the orange level. There is a corresponding decision of the head of works on liquidation of emergencies consequences that a region passes to orange level, and it is necessary to make an urgent decision so as not to get to the red level. If a red level is introduced, catering facilities, shopping and entertainment centers, cinemas, non-food stores and gyms will be closed. Next Monday, the red quarantine level will be introduced in the Ivano-Frankivsk region. Only over the past day, more than 600 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded there. Most of the hospitals in Ivano-Frankivsk region that treat patients with coronavirus are over full. A temporary mobile hospital with 250 beds will be opened in the region. If there is an opportunity, the mobile hospital will be opened and equipped on the base of Bohorchany Hospital. This will improve our situation. We're going to ask the Ministry of Health to send us doctors from other regions, because it is easier to transfer the equipment rather than people. Ukrainians support the adaptive quarantine, but they are against some restrictions.
I do not think it is useful because no one follows these quarantine conditions. Everyone visits shopping centers. Children should be at school during quarantine, but they go to the stores.
Of course, restrictions are needed until the end of the heating season. When the heating season ends, they can cancel those restrictive measures. If you have an opportunity to work online, please work online. We all need to take care of ourselves.
Не знаю.
I don't know, maybe it's right, but schools walk, kindergartens walk. It was reported that over the past day, more than 5,000 new cases were confirmed, so apparently it is necessary. Probably we still need these restrictions. Let there be some restrictions. I think that they do not limit our possibility to walk in fresh air, so let them be.
The Ministry of Health notes that due to the previous quarantine restrictions, Ukraine is on the 34th place in Europe in terms of mortality from coronavirus. Reported by Vadim Kramer and Svetlana Sich, UATV News.
Ukraine will not resume the supply of water to the occupied Crimea until the moment of its deoccupation. For this, the state plans to finish building a dam on the North Crimean Canal in the Kherson region, said permanent representative of the President of Ukraine in the Autonomous Republic of Crimea during a meeting with the CEO of the North Crimean Canal. In addition, according to President's envoy, this will improve the amelioration in the southern areas of the Kherson region.
Position of the representative's office and management of the canal is the following: no water in Crimea before deoccupation. There are certain questions concerning the needs of strengthening the structures that do not allow the Dnipro water to enter the temporarily occupied Crimea, as well as the issue of amelioration in the southern areas of Kherson region. We discussed issues that are important for the functioning of the canal, in particular the need to complete the dam at the 107th kilometer of the canal, which on the one hand will exclude the ingress of water into the temporarily occupied Crimea, and on the other will significantly improve the measures for amelioration of the southern territories of Kherson region.
It will be easier to register a new car and change a driver's license. What other changes are expected to be introduced by Ministries of Internal Affairs and Digital Transformation? Our correspondent knows.
No queues and only 1 day spent at the car dealership. The Ministry of Internal Affairs wants to simplify the procedure for registering ownership when buying a new car. Legal entities and citizens who have purchased cars will be able to save their time and money during the procedure of state registration and get a registration document and license plates at the dealership that sells the vehicles. One will not need to contact the service center of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine to register a car. The car dealership will issue a permanent license plate. Besides, soon the drivers will have an opportunity to change a driver's license in a couple of minutes through the DIA application for the state services. To do this, you will need to log in to the application, run the function of changing the license. Then you have to get your plastic certificate in the service center of the Ministry of Internal Affairs if you need one. At this stage, we do not remove the medical certificate. It will be needed when a person takes the driver's license at the service center. Ministry of Digital Transformation and the Ministry of Health are now working upon digitizing medical certificates to finally get rid of paper documents when changing one's driving license. Ukrainian drivers support such initiatives. The service centers take pretty lot of time, and now you can buy a car and do everything what is necessary at once in the same place. Everything is good. Now you don't need to go somewhere, you don't need to pay everywhere, you can do everything by yourself.
If you employ this program, you don't have to wait in lines. It's easier now. You can get everything scanned and take documents issued to you.
On Tuesday, the Parliament approved a law according to which electronic driver's licenses, certificates of registration of transport, and the compulsory civil liability insurance of vehicles owners in the DIA application for the state services can be used along with paper documents. Reported by Vadim Kramer and Valery Bakus, UATV News.
The Office of the President of Ukraine plans to launch an internship program for students after quarantine ends. Chairman of the office, Andriy Yermak, notes that the President's team searches for the best specialists. Therefore, youth is capable to bring a fresh look to numerous processes. He also gave students a tour around the building of the office and told about peculiarities of its work.
There is a great problem you can help to resolve, I mean personnel, people. We are in need of experienced, patriotic people who love their country. To be honest, it's very difficult to break the system, and only young people can change it.
Two baby chimpanzees were born in the Kharkiv Ecopark zoo. Small primates live in separate enclosures. The babies are looked after by caring mothers. Ecopark workers give them nuts, tangerines and raisins, but the baby monkeys are still breastfed. When the baby primates grow up, they will be transported to other ecoparks in Ukraine.
The mother immediately gave us the child so that she could have a little sleep because prenatal contractions were too hard. In general, it was hard for them. Somehow she trusted us and gave the baby to me. I then fed him. There was a day or two. For the first time after the birth, the monkey gratefully approached me and hugged my knees.
That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. More updates on our official website, YouTube and Facebook pages.